Okay, I am here with Sarah Curry at Blaze. What do you say? Blaze Studio?
Blaze Yoga and Pilates.
Blaze Yoga and Pilates. And we are obviously look so awesome because we just did a class. I did, what's it called actually?
We just did Inferno Hot Pilates.
It was so awesome. It was like a mix between rave.
Totally.
Maybe like an evangelical church session and exercise. I was shaking, and from a rehab perspective, I would say if you like community and fun. If you don't like fun, get out of here. But
please don't show up.
Yeah, don't show up. It is fun. I'm a little bit of a grump in the morning, and it totally, like, I don't know what time it is, but I'm awake, I'm ready to go. It was so good because it uses all of the small movements, small muscles. It engages all those muscles that people usually struggle with when they're injured and not active. So I'm a big fan, and that was so fun. So Sarah, tell us about all the other classes, because I know that's just one slice of what you do here.
Absolutely. So the Inferno, really, like Cristin said, is really designed to help you do the work you don't want to work. You know, you went to Cristin's office, she told you to do glute bridges. There's no way you're going to do as many or as intensely as you would in the support of a group environment. And we do really raise that party vibe so that you just kind of get carried on by the music, by the other people hooting and hollering at 6:30 in the morning. We have always offered here our original therapeutic hot yoga. It's a really slow form of yoga. There's no load bearing, so it's not like jumping and flow. It's one posture at a time, so you can really dig into like what your body can do, what you have for range of motion, places that you need strength. That's our original sort of one of our pillars of the studio, and we have some variations on that where it starts to get a little bit more playful. As you get the fundamentals down, then you can start to do some of the cool stuff that you might have seen like on Instagram. We also offer vinyasa yoga, which is a little bit more of an athletic flow, and that brings you back into down dogs and up dogs and more of those inversion type of postures, so that wherever you're at in terms of what your body is capable of right now, you can find a class that meets your exact needs.
Yeah, and I love that. I love that you have some, I wouldn't say beginner. I wouldn't say that was a beginner class, but you can go into any class or a couple of your classes and be a beginner for sure, because you can always modify.
For sure.
Supportive environment here, nobody is doing the exact same thing. Everybody has a little bit different take.
That's one of the coolest things I think about being in a class, is that you're going to be in class with people of all ages, like my 10-year-old son to my 73-year-old mother. You'll be in class with someone who's training for a decathlon. You'll be in class with someone who's rehabilitating a hip replacement. So just like Cristin said, it's really important to us that all of our classes are accessible. My background before yoga was special ed, and inclusion is like one of the pillars of special education. And so our goal always is to present you with the first foundational movement, element, alignment, and then build on that. So you can find the depth that you're ready for, and it will change every single day. I mean, this stuff that I could do Thursday, I can't do it on Monday.
No, and the variability is key for progression. Even if we give somebody an exercise program and they've rehabbed to a point where their symptoms are alleviated, you need variability and you need that endurance, and you're sure as hell not going to do it by yourself. We were just laughing about like when you're at home and you're like, all right, that's good. that should do it. Yeah, 10's good. I think that's a good number. Here you're like shaking and trying to come up with mental strategies to keep going. So you're pushing yourself. And I think that's a big thing to set yourself up for success. You have to know yourself. For me, I'm not going to do anything at home. I mean, I'll move a little bit. I'll like feel a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
But I am not going to push myself at home. Some people are great at it. I need to hold myself accountable. But I think accountability is a huge part. I think nobody doesn't need that. Like, I think it's good for everybody. And so tell me about some of the other, you have so many programs here to hold people accountable, and even the language in some of the classes was show up. It's very helpful to just hear those words. It's not just exercise and move on. It's deeper than that.
Yeah, for sure. And if you think about sort of where we're all at right now, everybody is busy. They're too busy to cook, they're too busy to exercise, they're too busy for self-care, they're so tired, stop the train, I want to get off. And so what we really are trying to do is to sort of help people tap into that. And no one's ever going to say to you, oh, here's the way that you're going to take care of yourself, and here's all the time you need to trim your toenails and make the most healthy dinner ever. You actually have to build that into the way that you live. And so we've developed a few different programs. One of our programs is Commit to 90. It's a 90-day program where we bring in functional nutritionist Erin Holt for nutrition education and Q&A and continuing ed workshops. But we also work on this really, really scientifically proven way of just slowly building habits. I mean, your body has habits to save energy in your brain. If you had to every single morning remember to brush your teeth, it would waste a ton of energy. So what we do is just start to layer stuff in. You'd spend an entire week working on how you hydrate and what you hydrate with. And you're surrounded by people who are, people like us drink water. People like us show up to exercise. So you get that group. It's both accountability, but also just that sense of community and being around people for whom your desired behavior is already the way they live. That's how you get swept up into stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think my new motto right now is, if you want to do something, hire a coach that's already done it. Right. Like, just hire someone who's already done it and has a program to help you get to where they are. So find the most hydrated person in the world.
Totally. And
it probably has a bladder issue.
But most of us, what we do is we're like, I feel like crap. I am going to eat all the perfect food, exercise all the times, change everything.
100%. Here we go.
Yes, and so you'll do it for what? Maybe you'll do it for 15, 30, 60. Maybe if you're really, really tough, you'll do it for 90 days. But no one's going to sustain that. So the whole point is to use science-based principles for building habits to actually make them doable, because this is the way that habits happen. You have success, and it reinforces your desire to do it again. So you remind yourself, you repeat, you reward yourself, you remind yourself, you repeat, reward, and that's how you actually change the way you live.
Yeah, good or bad habits. Like you that's the way the brain works. And I'm a brain nerd, so
Totally.
I've read about this over and over and over again, and seen it in practice, and seen how we all sabotage ourselves, and I sabotage myself. And the interesting thing is that when you set the expectations too high and you come in under, your brain kind of, in a preservation way, says, don't do that again. It demotivates you to do it again. So if you set your goals like, I'm gonna exercise 5 times a week, and you don't, because that's hard to just change a new habit, then your brain's like, yeah, don't try to do that again. So bite-sized goals and having support, reminders, that cue over and over again, it's really the only way it's gonna happen.
Truly. It's actually the only way it works. That's it. You don't just say.
And you don't have to know what or why. I mean, everybody knows you probably should drink more water, or how much water you should drink, and it's good for you. But you're not doing it, and why? So it's not necessarily always the groundbreaking information. It's the how that's the really hard part. And so you have to set yourself up, and whether that's a community here that you like coming to, and you like a little bit of a sweaty party that's exercise, or a Facebook group, or a yoga private group, whatever it is, like, you just have to keep looking for it and find your niche and do it over and over and over again, and keep showing up. So what other programs? We said the Commit to 90. I know you've done.
One of our other flagship programs is the Sober Yogis program. This yoga, because it's hot, it tends to attract a lot of people in sobriety. And one of the big reasons, and people don't realize it, is that it actually helps to alleviate post-acute withdrawal symptoms. And so everybody knows about detox. That's your acute withdrawal. But after you detox, like you were talking about the brain earlier, your brain takes like 1 to 2 years to reform without the substance and how it's going to function. And the process of that neuroplasticity is amazing and dynamic and really cool. It also sucks and is really hard, and you feel terrible while it's happening. So a lot of symptoms come up for people in early recovery that they're like, why am I sober? Like, this, living like this sucks. Because you have sleeplessness and anxiety, depression, social isolation, apathy, emotional overreaction, all these massive symptoms that make you feel really uncomfortable. Well, the coolest part about, in particular in the heated environment, is that it automatically alleviates those symptoms for a good day or two afterwards. So you can be feeling really terrible, having a terrible day, get to class, and just come like one notch out of the hole that you're living in. So that's a program where we've partnered with local therapists to then provide support and be surrounded by folks in sobriety. Because there's nothing like somebody that's either been through or is going through what you're going through to make you feel supported. So the practice is here, and then the group therapy is outside of the studio, and it's anonymous and all that stuff. But it's been a tremendously successful program, and we saw, like, on average, between a 60 and 80% reduction in symptoms. Like, amazing.
And so she's obviously a cool person. But like, has a drive to do good in the community, and you know, those are the people you want to align yourself with. So so I highly recommend Blaze, and there's another one, a sister studio.
Yeah, there's another studio. It's not ours, but they're close friends with us on Steamhouse Yoga and Pilates in Epping. So if you're in like the Exeter, Lee area, that's definitely a great Kensington option for you to be able to get access to the same type of healing modalities.
Same type, okay,
Yeah.
great. So I highly recommend it. Try it out if you like a party. They're not all parties, but this one was a party, and it was a fun party. I feel good. You'll see me here for sure.
Awesome.
So thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Thanks so much for watching that video. Please hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more of those videos and keep learning on how to read your body.